Salt Series 2 in H2. Will it survive versus the Great Smoky Mountains? Let's light it up. What is up, guys? Now, I know a lot of you saw the video a few years ago that Ben Peterson did with another company testing H1 steel from the Salt Series with Spyderco. Now, this year they come out with H2, the new upgraded version. And we've seen how this stuff does against salt water. With us living here in the Great Smoky Mountains, the water here in a lot of these streams is very acidic. And so we kind of want to see, because highly acidic water can cause some corrosion issues with certain steels. So we want to see how H2 stacks up, not against salt water, but against very acidic water here in the national park. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this knife and we're actually going to drop it, bury it in a creek here in the Smoky Mountains. We're going to leave it there for 2 weeks, and then we're going to go back, pull it out, and we're going to see what happened to it after 2 weeks. So let's go find a spot, drop this knife off, leave it behind, and see what happens. So we're here at the west prong of the Little Pigeon River, and this is the main river that runs out of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And this is at a point between Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, which is still part of the national park, but it's down at the bottom. So if there's anything that's any part of the river that's gonna have literally everything in it, it's going to be this one. And like I said before, due to acid rain and acid erosion, a lot of the rivers around here have become, over the last 50, 60 years, very acidic. And that can prove to be very corrosive and cause premature rusting in a lot of materials. So we're gonna see how this H2 stands up. We found a good spot right here that is nice and calm, so it's not gonna get carried away by the current, because it's offset a little bit in kind of a little lagoon type area of the river. So I'm actually gonna dig down just a little bit and get it buried underneath the silt right here, so that it still stays wet and in the water, but it's also not going to go anywhere. So get it right in there. We're going to bury it good, so hopefully no one finds it and takes it from us. And we're going to come back in a couple of weeks, and hopefully it will be right there. We'll see what happens. So we're on our way to pick up the Spyderco H2. I hope it's still there. We've gotten a couple of pretty big downpours over the last couple of weeks. Looking back on it now, we probably should have attached an air tag to this thing or something. I don't know. And now we're in tourist traffic.
Pro tip, stay in the middle lane.
Yep. Stay in the middle lane when you come to town. Right and left lanes, not a good idea. So we're here, and we're about to head down to the river to pray. No, to get the knife out. That's what it is. That's what we're doing. Right there. So let's go see if we can find it, and hopefully nobody got it. Oh, God. All right, so it's in this area somewhere, as long as nobody found it. Now, you'll notice that we did pick a spot that the water's not swiftly moving. However, we did have a decent amount of rain, which makes this water move a lot more. So I believe that right in here is where we buried it before. So I'm just gonna have to dig and see if I can feel it. Now I'm gonna be very careful here because we left it open. So I'm going to be very, very gentle disturbing this. Now. Oh, we got it. There it is right there. And look, it's got a lot of silt and a lot of grit right in there. But it looks like the blade itself did pretty decent. I'm gonna just kind of rinse this thing off a little bit and we're going to take it back in to the studio and see how she fared. So we got the knife. It's here. Let's take a look at it up close. So this thing fared pretty well. Now, I did say when we put this thing in that the acidity in the local streams and stuff is fairly high, which can do some pretty wicked things to different metals and different elements. So we wanted to see, you know, how this H2 would stand up to those high acidity levels, those high pH levels, also, one thing that I didn't take into account was what it would do to the FRN handles. Now you can see, I mean, this thing looks like it's been through the ringer, which it has. It's been in the Little Pigeon River for 2 weeks, and I mean, it's pretty wicked gross. You can see down inside there, it's got some silt and stuff gummed up in there. We're going to try to clean that out, but overall, I'm going to actually take some of our gunny cleaner here, and I'm going to clean this off and see if I can get her clean and see what kind of shape she's in. So it doesn't appear that there's any like permanent corrosion or like rusting or anything like that. I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of this cleaner all over, let it soak in a little bit, and just go to town here and see how the blade looks. Now, this side of the blade ends up with some discoloration. I think that's going to come off, but let's see if it does. So we'll just wipe that down, and it absolutely did. Yeah, that discoloration came off. It looked like it might have been a little bit of tarnishing, but and there might be a little bit actually of tarnish, but no actual rust. No, that all came off really well there. So let's take a look at the other side here. I'll spray some of that on there. And this is some gunny cleaner, same guys that do the gunny glide and stuff like that, the knife lube. They've got a really cool cleaner here, and just rub that in there, and then the blade looks good as new. I mean, we can put this back on the shelf, right? No, we're probably going to end up doing a giveaway with this one. So that's really cool right there. So you can see this blade is scratched up. Now, I did mention that over the last couple of weeks we've gotten some pretty heavy rains, and that what that does in the rivers around here is it causes the water level to rise, and the rivers become exponentially more violent, and it means that a lot of the sediment and a lot of the rocks end up getting jostled around, and that's very evident in this, because when we put this in the river, this didn't have any scratches on it like that. So this thing's got some wear in it from the river. It's still very sharp, no doubt about that, because I mean nothing is really worn on the edge. But we are going to give this knife away right here. Now I am going to clean it up. I'm not going to leave all that sediment and stuff in there. I'm going to clean this up really good. And we're going to give this knife away on this video in the comments. So what we're going to do is I want you to tell us a story in the comments of the most interesting knife that you've ruined. Maybe it's the best knife that you've ruined or lost or something like that. Give us a story in the comments down below of maybe a knife that was your favorite that you used as a pry bar and then broke the blade off. Yeah, you can tell us those stories. We're going to make fun of you for it, but you can tell us those stories, and we're going to pick a winner in 1 week after this video airs. We will announce the winner of this knife. I think I've got the box around here somewhere. So we're going to take this thing apart, get it all cleaned up and ready for our winner. So here we go. Alright, so there you have it, folks. We've got our H2 back together, and pretty much like new. I mean, with the exception of a few scuffs and stuff here and there, it's still really sharp and in really good shape. So let us know in the comments down below. We're going to show it to you up close right there. Yeah. Let us know in the comments down below. Just give us your story of your best story of a knife that you've destroyed, and we'll pick a winner from the comments, and you're going to get this basically new with a little bit of Smoky Mountain mud patina on it. Spyderco with H2, that Dragonfly 2 Salt Series. So that one is coming to some lucky winner. As always, folks, it's been me, TC, here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works at SNKW.com. And remember, the cut, Spyderco H2 Salt Series. Then we carry it. I got to tell everyone this story. I can't not tell this story. But I look over, I hear a splash, and I see Isaac doing what looks like him walking on water, attempting to not go in it, which he eventually fails at, and ends up hugging a rock with his face down in the water, his feet in the water. But we got the footage for you guys, so I want you to know how much.
All right, by the way.
Nobody cares about that. They just want to know if we got the knife or not. And how did it do after being in the Little Pigeon River for 2 weeks?